Hello friends, self-critical Automaton here, and you may be surprised to notice that we are in fact not where we left off. This is because I remembered what it was I had to do to get the thing that unlocks access to the DLC, and that's that I have to kill the Hydra. Wait, hang on a second. Did I kill the Hydra before? I thought I didn't. Huh, how odd. Well, that's a bit of a wasted trip then. But yeah, one of the satisfying things about Dark Souls is coming back to an earlier part of the game and just tearing through things that you had trouble with before. So I absolutely ruined a bunch of trees on the way here. But yeah, so I thought I had not killed the Hydra. Apparently I had. Does that mean I forgot to come around here and kill the golden golem, or the golden golem wasn't here, maybe? Presumably I'm forgetting some level of the convoluted method by which the DLC is activated. Ouch. I forgot to put my ring on. That's not good. Dear, oh dear. Yeah, so. I was lucky. Anyway, this guy's down. He should reveal a young woman in a fancy dress.
So, 'tis thou who rescued me. Most gracious, I am deeply obliged. I am dust of Ulyssil. I cometh from an age long before thine. I cannot stay here for long. So, before I disappear, allow me to ask one thing. My home, Ulyssil, is the home of ancient sorceries. My hope is to pass this profound knowledge to thee, with thine approval. Would this be of assistance to thee?
I always say yes, even though I rarely play wizards.
I am pleased beyond words. Then I shout, engrave my signature. If thou art in need, pray summon me from my signature. It seems that my time is done. May the great flames guide thee.
So yeah, she's from hundreds of years ago, and inexplicably was trapped in a golden golem here. This is one of the less explained aspects of Dark Souls. I'm not sure there's ever really an explanation for why she's trapped in a gold golem here. There are indications that maybe Seath traps people he finds troublesome in gold golems, but, you know, why her from hundreds of years ago? How did he even obtain her, since time travel is not really a thing? Or, more accurately, you know, the nature of existence is all folly-a-party, so, you know, controlled time travel isn't really a thing. Where's my, here we are, bone. I should pop us back into the Duke's archive. And since you've already seen me do all this, I'm going to cut here. So, picking up roughly where we left off last week, it's time to take a left. But first, I'm going to be a little bit tricksy, a little bit clever. I'm going to equip a Ring of Sacrifice because of reasons that will shortly become clear. So, yeah, you see the staircase, those rotate around, like I said, inspired by the moving staircases of Harry Potter. Up here, the weird crystal growths are a bit more prominent. Weird crystal growths, not a bad name for an indie band. And through here we're going to meet this guy, who is some kind of crystal 90. Oh fuck! Well, that was embarrassing. I can't even do those things, and yet he sliced me up like a kipper. Okay, you know what? Fuck this guy. I'm just gonna set him on fire. This is, in my opinion, a reasonable reaction to anyone who's in pain. Just set them on fire. You know? You're trying to get coffee and some guy keeps hitting on you, set him on fire. You're the doctor and he refuses to believe that chronic pain is deserving of treatment. Set him on fire. You know, teach the fucker. Yeah. Suck it, Crystal Face. Right, you might notice I'm out of Estus. That's not an issue because they're about to go get fucked up. I'm using a Ring of Sacrifice because I don't particularly want to lose my souls. And I've not got any humanity, so that's not really relevant. As you can see, it's getting more and more crystally as we climb up this staircase. And what do we have up here? Time to get wrecked, Seath. Come on. You know. Actually, I'm wearing the wrong ring. Shit. There we go. I forgot his attack's cursed, but basically he's impossible to fight here. You can't hurt him, but he's just got infinite health. He heals up every attack. But yeah, the crystal spell's a curse, so you've got to be careful to not get cursed, because getting cursed is a huge pain. That's why I switched to the rare ring, because that prevents cursing. So, you know, you'd think I'd be a bit less sweary now, wouldn't you? But, ha ha ha. See, it's funny, because cursing is like swearing, but also cursing is like cursing. Anyway. So, this is interesting. This is an indication that Seath is more aware of the metaphysics of this world than other people tend to be. You know, you fight someone and they just try and kill you. Seath knows you're undead. Seath knows that the thing about undead is that they keep coming back. So what does he do? He puts you in a cell with a bonfire. If you escape, you know, you'll inevitably die, and then you'll just end up back at the bonfire again. The one flaw in this is that, like, you respawn at the bonfire you last used. Generally, this is the only time in the game when that is not a truism. So, what's up with that, huh? And you can't warp from here either. This bonfire is cut off from the others, cannot warp. So, yeah, it's like, I think that... Oh, I forgot that means these guys come back. You know, narratively, the undead come back from the nearest bonfire. It's only gameplay reasons that brings them from the one they last used. That's one of the rare instances of sort of like a separation between gameplay... Oh, for fuck's sake. Between how things work in terms of gameplay and how they work in terms of narrative. Because, as I've been saying all along, Dark Souls is fascinating for how well it ties its gameplay contrivances into the metaphysics of the narrative, you know? The only other game I can think of that even tries, really, is Morrowind. Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, which, you know, actually accounts for the mechanics of quick-saving and so on within the metaphysics of the world. Although you have to dig quite deep to find that out. So, yeah. Seath is pretty clearly a bit more on the ball than his compatriots, since, you know, he knows you're just going to come back, but he's smart enough to trap you. Unfortunately, he can't account for, you know, Lizardmen Labour. Oh, what was I saying back in Sen's Fortress? Oh, this bit's a bit unpleasant. Yeah, it's a horrible bloody noise that thing makes, and I kind of hate it. So yeah, those things are called Picasses, and they're not actually generally hostile. they just are in reaction to the music. And there's indications that they may in fact have been human at some point, and it's, hey, haha! Running backstab, there's an unusual thing. Yeah, get back. Don't... Get back here, you. Ah, fuck. So, you can chase this guy up, but he'll just kick you back down again. And you need a key to get through the door up here anyway, so... See? Oh, buggery. Anyway, what was I talking about? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure that these guys are afraid of Runicasters since they run away from them after activating the horrible noise machine. Yeah. What was it I was saying in Sen's Fortress about unreliable snake men labour? Yeah. Guards sleeping on the job, bad. Guards sleeping on the job with their back to an, you know, open cell bars. That's really bad. There's a fair few secrets, you know, scattered around in this place. And, you know, when they talk about the Ducal Archive, this is the main room. This is, there's what, hundreds of thousands of books here? Millions even? But, no, you might notice that, for all that they're fucking massive shelves of books, none of these books are dragon-sized. My, theory about why Seath has so many human servants, unlike the other characters, is quite simply, he needs someone to read to him. Like, you know, he doesn't have... He's got a giant head and giant hands. How is he going to, Oh! Hey! Always satisfying. I'm pretty sure they're weak to fire, but they have some nasty attacks and they do a lot of damage. So yeah, they're a bit of a threat. Yeah, that might actually be a one-hit kill. Oh dear. It was not. Fantastic. It was not fantastic. Oh, and they can spit blobs of stuff, I guess. So, yeah, there are some indications that these Picassas used to be young human women, and that they've been transformed by Seath for reasons. Capital R reasons. You know, mystery reasons. You know, Seath being a weird asshole reasons. That was terrible. But yeah, this is where we start to learn about the extent of Seath's investigations into crystal sorcery. There are indications that the dragons were the inventors of sorcery, and that, you know, it's their art. Not least that the biggest school of sorcery is the Vinheim Dragon School, so... But of course that's not that's not in no way proof or anything like that, that's just an indication that there is a connection between sorcery and dragons. You know, it might simply be that the Vinheim School are like, you know, our sorcery are powerful as dragons, or, you know, maybe even Vinheim has a dragony mascot or something. So, yeah, the dragony mascot of Vinheim. So, as I've been saying, crystal magic is interestingly a consuming, corrupting force in much the same way that chaos pyromancy is. And it's weirdly sterile. Whoa! Oh, okay, that was close. Yeah, so we'll see more and more that Seath has completely lost his mind. And we'll see the corrupting influence of crystal sorcery on other people as well. So it's an interesting... It is an interesting... Whoops, something kicking. Contrast between the sort of chaotic, cancerous vitality of chaos pyromancy and the sort of regular formal madness of crystal sorcery. Of course, much like Chaos Pyromancy, you, the player, can use it without having to worry about going a bit peculiar. And yeah, because we will shortly catch up with good old giant wizard. He's not giant, he's not a human. Good old beardy human wizard, Big Hat Logan. You know, my favourite mushroom who isn't a mushroom. And yeah, I think these two Picassos never become hostile. The others become hostile if you get right up close to them. These ones become hostile if you attack them, but otherwise don't. In fact, maybe they just run away. I feel kind of bad for killing them, actually. But they do drop good miracles. Not that I use miracles, but you know what I'm like. Bountiful Sunlight and Soothing Sunlight, spells of the, hello.
Hello again.
It's a mushroom.
What a chance meeting this is. Alas, I'm imprisoned once again. I don't suppose you could stage me a getaway. The archives. Such a storehouse of knowledge. So close, but just out of reach. The thought offends me so I could simply die. As a student of the arts, you understand me?
I'm not a student of your arts, matey. Anyway, but yeah, I'll come back and let you out when I find your door
Hello
key.
again. Alas, I'm imprisoned once the archives.
I'm sure you can barely hear him over the noise of that horrible bloody thing. Let's go switch it off, shall we? I used to always get stuck here because I'd forget about this ladder because it blends in pretty well with the background. You know, if you see it side on, it just looks like part of the wall. I mean, from a bit of a distance away. But yeah, so, the Snake Men, Servants of Seath. That sounds like a, is he gonna... oh, fuck. Is he gonna knock me off, I say, before immediately jumping off like some kind of idiot? And I'm out of healing. Snake Men suck. Undead rule, Snake Men rule, etc, etc, etc. Oh no, it's empty, there's nothing in it. Come back here, you. See if I can... No, there we go. It's the spell casting ones that are really dangerous. It's interesting that they use lightning though, like, again, that's the power of Anor Londo. You'd think that being Seath's servants they would use sorcery, and in fact I think they are called serpent sorcerers. Well, they might be serpent mages actually. But yeah, that said, the fact that flame sorcery was a thing before pyromancy came about, perhaps, you know, sorcery has the power to mimic or create. Speaking of mimics, this is not one. Giant door key. I always think that's the door to him, but it's not. We get his key later on. So let's just switch this horrible bloody thing off. There we go. It's fascinating that the Snake Men have draped it in their cast-off skins. It's also disgusting, but, you know, it makes me wonder, is this some kind of object of worship for them in some way? Like, there's no reason for them to have done that. You know? It's just one of the many enigmatic little details that you get in Dark Souls. What does this mean? Also of note, this big old mechanism here. You know, it's a complete mystery. No one knows what it's supposed to have been for, what it's supposed to represent. This big, falling-aparty, damaged mechanism. Presumably it relates in some way to Seath's desperation for immortality, because after all, Seath is all about immortality. And he only achieved it through crystal magic, which, again, as I said, is a corrupting force. Yeah. Seath is supposed to be the foremost practitioner of sorcery in the world, so... But yeah, wow, it's just so many books. This is, you know, this is 10,000 years worth of books. And, yeah, we'll pull it up on the end of today's episode, so I'll just get back up to the top of the thing. Actually, there's one more item to grab somewhere underneath that, I think. But where exactly? I think I need to drop down from here. Hold on, was that in a dream I had, or did I actually do this? I think there's some way to get underneath here, and then there's another item on a pedestal-y thing. Or, can I see it from here? There it is! That's what I'm thinking of. How do we get to that? I only figured out how to get it once. On one playthrough, and I didn't think to write it down or anything, so... yeah, you can get onto that collar-y thing. How do you do that? Actually, fuck it. I can't be bothered. I'm pretty sure it's either a soul or a titanite thingy, and, you know, we've got plenty of souls, and we've got plenty of titanite, so screw it. I'll look it up, and if it's that important, I'll go back for it. Anyway, up this ladder, and then onwards to the rest of this place. Suck it, Snakey. Anyway, yeah, so... It's interesting that possibly Seath may have created life if he created the sorcerers. Like, I believe that they are naturally, they're naturally organic beings. They're not magically created, or, like, they may have been magically bred, but they aren't, you know... They aren't creatures that were manifested out of the ether, because they don't shimmer out. Anyway, so I should probably stop in a minute. I'll just deal with this skeleton. This, incidentally, is the Duke's Forest, a weird little forest at the centre of the archive, and that is a big fucking crystal that we're going to go fight Seath in later on. And yeah, that's about it for this episode, I think. It's a nice view out here. You often get messages scribbled down saying "beautiful view" or no, gorgeous view. That's it. I miss Solaire. I really do. Do I have Goddess Blessing? I have one Goddess Blessing. There's only a few of them in the game. I think there's like 4 per playthrough. Anyway, very many healing items. So yeah, that's it for today. It's been a pleasure. Bye.